seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining. That means we better get in here and start the next game. Guys, welcome back to SLI4. We got the SA region. That single elimination bracket. It's grueling, I know. We'll see what's going to happen here in Game 2. As expected, Game 1 did go the way of Infamous. Wasn't perfect. Definitely had some flaws positional-wise from the Infamous side, but overall, you get off an early game like what we saw in Game 1, remaining. It's pretty hard to lose. Nowadays, Dota is all about those lanes. You got to make sure your laners are safe and secure and actually backed up. I think that's probably the biggest issue we saw from Gorillaz-Pride compared to Infamous, is that Infamous's supports were everywhere. The Earth Spirit was absolutely everywhere, saving his allies, doing the damage, and Gorillaz-Pride really weren't. Despite having heroes to kill, like SF, very killable by both Winter Wyvern and the Tusk, it just didn't happen. So I kind of want to see a little bit more action from the early game from Gorillaz-Pride supports, just to try to give their cores a little bit of an edge. But here we'll see in Game 2 if that's actually going to happen. I'm Michael, is going to be your caster for this game. Might be the slowest opening ban phase of all time. A lot of that 4-position hate. I wonder if they going to first pick the Earth Spirit. I actually wouldn't be surprised at that. You can see the Morphlings they banned out along with that Omni Knight. I think it was Shadow Demon as the last, or one of the 3 bans from Gorillaz-Pride in Game 1. Not actually sure if that's going to be what Infamous are looking for right now. They'll take out the Winter Wyvern instead. And guys, keep in mind, a lot of us just got done watching the Summit. Great event and everything. The meta you see there is not the meta you see within these regional contained tournaments. Definitely going to have different priority on some different heroes. Though sometimes you just got to pick up the best hero in the game, Ogre Magi. Yeah, I know the hero isn't the best hero in the game, but I love him to death because he is just so tanky. Lets you just smork everyone. And is going to be somewhat of a build-around support hero. Because he doesn't really have a lot of damage, unfortunately. He really only has like that scaling ability through his steroid and that bloodlust. Like late game multicasting a fire blast, it can be game changing sometimes, but honestly, the Ogre Magi, if you're gonna pick him up, you pick up a hero that casts bloodlust, and for the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game is going to be without a doubt the strongest hero in the game because he's just not killable, unless you bring out the heavy magic guns from Gorillaz-Pride. Ogre Magi has like 8 base armor or something like that, so if you want to kill him, doing magic damage is definitely the way to go. AA along with that Tusk, going to set up for Gorillaz-Pride to have, granted, a very similar opening to what they had in Game 1. But this is also an opening that is kind of more rewarded for going together and actually ganking people. Like Tusk obviously can snowball in, get the shard trap. Once you do get hit by either of those, you'll just be frozen in place every single time by the cold feet. Not only that, but you'll close the distance so that you will have 1 ranged hero in the Ancient Apparition, 1 melee hero in the Tusk, and probably 1 other ranged hero able to right-click in on that hero that's walled off with Chilling Touch activated. That should get kills on most heroes, unless they have like a blink or something like that. And looking at Rubik and Ogre Magi, I don't see many blinks, so it is going to be very easy for Gorillaz-Pride to make those plays happen. And it is going to be pretty rewarding as well. Like Ancient Apparition, if you can get those kills, you're going to be very happy to do so. Skyrocketing yourself towards that level 6 mark. Maybe if you're getting a lot, get that Midas, but probably not a priority. It is going to be a very aggressively tailored opening from the Gorillaz-Pride side. Again, a little bit more aggressive with the Ancient Apparition instead of that Winter Wyvern, but could definitely get the job done. Infamous, in the meantime, will pick up the Rubik along with their Ogre Magi. It definitely does seem like they're just picking up these kind of show-nothing, very safe heroes. And we can see, much like what I said last game, Tinker Medusa is going to get banned out. Medusa's obviously insane with the Ogre Magi. Tinker is pretty bad with the Ogre Magi. Tinker might be like the worst core to have with Ogre Magi just because they don't work together at all. They'll still do their jobs, but I'm not scared of a bloodlusted Tinker. Not really, at least. Lifestealer and Beastmaster can be taken down. Super durable heroes. Combo pretty well with the AA and the Tusk. But yeah, for right now, Infamous have no cards showing. They can just go for the real kind of safe play. Pick up that Jug, although he's not the best up against the Tusk. Snowball definitely has some pretty nice counters up against both Omni Slash and the Spin. Gorillaz-Pride will pick up the Tiny now. So Infamous, they do have an okay amount of control with these heroes, but control enough to kill off a Tiny damage enough to kill off a Tiny, that's a different question entirely. They will have to try to pressure him early on in the laning stage, and I'm not really sure if Rubik Ogre Magi want to be tangoing with an Ancient Apparition tri-lane with a Tiny. Doesn't seem all that fun.
5 seconds
They just don't have the damage to do it, like regardless of who their last pick is for a tri-lane hero. Like Luna, probably like pure offensively, will give them enough damage to actually kill off that Tiny, but will also just fold because she doesn't have enough HP to take the damage, at least not as much as she can deal. So I'm pretty sure that's just not in the cards here for Infamous. Really safe 1-2-3 pick here for Gorillaz-Pride. A little bit of safety mixed in here from the Tusk. A lot of offensive power from the Tiny. And Infamous do need a hero that can really partner up with that Bloodlust. Viper is not quite that hero. Why do you pick up Viper here? I mean, Viper's not bad with Bloodlust. Definitely used to be a little bit better. Nowadays, it seems like you pick up Viper if, first of all, you don't have last pick, and Infamous don't have last pick, so I guess there's that, and you just really want a safe hero. That's what Viper does best. He doesn't, like, out-lane crush everyone. He just is absolutely persistent. He is the cockroach of the mid lane. Can't kill him. But you also kind of want to have something to break, and I don't think there's any interaction there with the Tiny. Can you break at the tree and kind of disable that? I don't think that's how it works, so it doesn't seem like this is really going to have any huge implications outside of just being a solid laner. And there's a lot to be said for that. Like, sometimes you just need a lane that just won't lose. Sometimes you need a lane that you don't really have to pay much attention to. Compare this Viper to the Shadow Fiend in the last game, where SF, he's a great laner, of course. He's fine. But you have to make sure you have those TPs. You got to make sure you're there to save him. Viper, a little bit less so. He will be aggressive upon from time to time, but again, most of the damage from Gorillaz-Pride right now will be magic, so Corrosive is going to get a lot of value there. Just a very difficult hero to kill, and you don't have to teleport 2 heroes in to save him. You just need 1 hero, like just a Telekinesis or a Fire Blast or even an Ignite. Like, it should be enough to save a Viper. It is going to mean that the mid lane is kind of an island for Infamous, and that's exactly what they want. There's not many heroes that can just suddenly dumpster Viper. There are heroes that have slightly better, slightly worse matchups, but overall, I probably like... I can't even think of like any truly miserable matchups for Viper. Like, maybe Razor is just still that great hero up against him, but that's about it. Ooh, hello. I'm not entirely sure what Infamous are doing with this first 2 heroes as they're opening right now. They'll pick up the Enigma, who is going to have some issues in this game. Casting Black Hole is pretty rough up against this amount of long-range disables from Gorillaz-Pride.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll do a lot of damage with that Midnight Pulse. Tiny and Underlord, both with a massive HP pool. So, yeah, Midnight Pulse is, as usual, really going to be that all-star spell. Very easy to underestimate that because it's, I mean, it destroys trees, but other than that, it's a very subtle effect until you're dead to it. I'm not really sure where the Ogre Magi really fits in here. Again, it seems like they just picked up kind of a safety hero, but, I mean, you're looking at Ogre Magi, and he has 2 really huge assets. First of all, the Bloodlust. Works well with the Viper. Is essentially a non-factor with Enigma, maybe even worse than with Tinker. And he also has that early game, the ability to just body back any given hero. Are you going to just sit in front of a Tiny and arm wrestle him? Probably not. Are you going to do that versus the Underlord? Probably not. I think that does... It is a matchup the Ogre Magi will win, but like they'll both just... It'll just be a slugfest that no one's actually going to get anything done with. So this Tiny definitely seems like he needs a little bit more build around to actually be a useful hero in this particular game for Infamous. They have a decent amount of team fight now with this Enigma, but I'm not entirely sure if Black Hole is going to be super reliable in this game. Even the push style from Enigma, which, you know, they can push decently, Infamous, I guess, with the Bloodlust, get a Viper with the Dragonlance, get those Eidolons up. You're up against a Tiny, an Underlord, even AA has the Ice Blast, Tusk has the Shards. Like, there are so many just random, like, semi-mediocre AoE spells that Gorillaz can just throw in and kill off those summons from the Enigma. So this may be putting Infamous at a little bit of risk. That being said, Stinger, I think, does play Enigma more than probably most offlanes. Not really a hero that's seen very much. So going into a comfort zone pick is certainly something to be said about that. But they definitely need a heavy. They need someone to do a lot of damage. They need it from the safe lane. Sven, maybe? It's a Razor instead. Man, I hate Razor. I've said it so many times in so many games I've casted. I just think this hero is bad, man. Is he good here, though? Is it going to be a great hero to have with Ogre Magi? For sure, like, not only is that Bloodlust aces with the Razor, because you could just zip around all over the place, but also being able to just lend a small amount of Disable and Ignite here, a Fire Blast there, can make it so that the Razor will get a little bit more duration with the Link, and then just destroy fools. The hero doesn't really have all that much synergy with the Enigma. I thought they were going to go in for a little bit more AoE. Like, I literally just said Sven right before Razor was picked up, like some way of comboing up with that black hole and making sure when it lands, you have follow-up enough to just instantly kill all those heroes.
Select your heroes.
Not really sure if that's the case with the Razor and a Viper. Infamous have two really single target heavy cores and then a giant AoE third core. Not really, they don't really play well together. Now, the Razor is going to have some pretty nice heroes to steal damage from. That Tiny, that Terrorblade, and looking at Chris Brown now picking up that Tiny has, I would assume, an okay matchup up against the Viper. Like, he's not going to get completely dumpstered, but again, it is going to be very dependent on how many additional kind of side support heroes come in and mess with that lane. And Stinger, well, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be an Underlord in the off lane by himself, in which case he'll have a really bad time up against Razor. But welcome to Underlord matchups, right? There are many, many cases where you just have bad times. There's not much you can do about that. I don't know about this, guys. I think Infamous are a good enough team versus Gorillaz-Pride where they can get away with some shenanigans. But it doesn't seem like they have a really super cohesive strategy. Like, even their late game, Enigma is really powerful then, but Razor and Viper definitely tend to fall off. I guess both these heroes can get, like, Mjolnirs, and then you can group them up with the Black Hole and then use Mjolnirs to kill them off. I mean, I'm saying that kind of half-joking, but they are up against a Terrorblade, so getting that additional AoE magic damage is probably going to be not bad. Yeah, I do like the Gorillaz-Pride draft a little bit more. I mean, they just have, like, these super bulky cores. Most of these picks have been just played for matchups, it seems, just to make sure that their lane matchups are fine. And again, that's pretty much the norm nowadays, but hey, you know what? Let's see who's going to be playing what, and then we'll get into it a little bit more down the line. We got Moose once again on the Tusk. Mogre, number 1, is on the Ancient Apparition DLC, playing that off-lane Underlord. We got Mogre number 2 on the Terrorblade. Chris Brown is not midding as a Tiny. It's a little bit more expected, I suppose. He's going to be going up towards top lane as Tiny, I guess. Old Stinger is on the Enigma. We got Excel on the Ogre Magi. Schofield on the Rubik over in mid. Kataro is going to be handling the Razor, switching up with Pepita's Viper, as I apparently cannot speak. Yeah, Pepita on the bottom lane as the Viper. So a little bit of player lane mix-ups compared to the last game. Overall, Enigma going up against Tiny. Not really sure if that's what you want to be doing. You can poke at him quite a bit, but still, Eidolon's very easily taken care of. Will cost the Tiny some mana here and there, but they'll just get absolutely annihilated. It's not really going to be a great matchup there. And this block, this block, maybe a little bit too good from the Dire. I mean, the tower will start to just kill off these creeps, and at least Mogre will have the ability to get a couple of these last hits, but this is really not ideal for this mid lane. The block was just so good for the Dire and so bad for the Radiant that it's now going to work out pretty well for the Radiant if they can hold the creep wave out of tower range. We can see that's why Kataro's kind of dragging it off to the side. He's going to maybe get zoned out a little bit, but that's static lane, so not really going to take all that much damage here. They do go Super Saiyan on this Terrorblade, do a lot of damage to this Razor. Going to put it back to a corner, and he doesn't actually have any tangos. They will lift up the Terrorblade, taking tower shots, and we'll get the kill. Oh, this AA is doing no damage at all, just 20 damage a pop versus the additional armor from that tier 1 tower, and the Terrorblade taking tower shots, and now here comes the Smorch hero. Kataro gets a double kill. 11 armor. 11 armor is great, but at the end of the day, you're taking tower shots. And even though Kataro doesn't have any additional tangos, is he dead? No, he's fine. Even though he doesn't have any additional tangos to cut through the trees and otherwise would have been just completely safe, just by, I think that actually kind of worked out well for him. He just put his back to a corner and just started right-clicking a Terrorblade. Not only do they get those 2 kills, but they also pull out a Metamorphosis, and that is down for a long time now. And this matchup for Terrorblade is very reliant on having both this backup in the Apparition as well as that Metamorphosis. Like, you're just gonna get pushed out every single time with that static link. There's no two ways around it. You gotta find some way of fighting back. Moose is gonna try to fight back, rushing down Excel. Gets a bloodlust off into the Razor before he dies. He will go down, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Again, Kitaro bags the kill. The big reason I don't like Razor, guys, is because I feel like his early game isn't powerful enough for what he needs to do in the mid game. But if you do get all these kills and all the CS, and it looks like he is getting it all, then Razor is an absolute menace. Being able to just completely lock out any given carry and then return that damage in kind, such a powerful ability, such a unique ability in Dota. Take a quick look at these boring lanes. DLC going to be going up against Pita. Is going to be taking some chip damage, but this is actually not the worst lane in the world for Underlord. He can absorb these shots pretty consistently. Just have to watch out once the Viper picks up level 6, but that's a long ways off. Pita obviously is going to be unchallenged. Should expect him to rise to the top of the last hit chart. In the meantime, top lane, it is going to be Excel and Chris Brown. They're going to fight with one another. There is stick charges for another toss. Run Excel. He's going to get into the trees. And not really juke because he doesn't need to. In the meantime, Viper and Schofield teaming up for DLC. Gets blocked by his own creeps. Betrayal most foul. Roll in towards mid lane now. Going for that Razor. The shards are there. And with the cold feet, he is going to fall. This time not enough backup here. So G-Pride do take a Razor down, and that's a big kill. It's spree being ended by Moose. But lose the Underlord. And Razor, just like that, is right back in. There is another Metamorphosis up on this Terrorblade, so if you do get hit with the static link, you do have the chance of turning around and still doing some pretty decent damage. Taro's going to find 3 heroes. Plasma Field is going to miss against the Snowball, and Mogre's doing a lot of damage still. Actually, he's actually doing no damage. The link is going to last long enough. Now here comes the help. It's Schofield here. With the right clicks with the stolen damage, they'll whip down the Ancient Apparition. And maybe look for a little more. They'll chug down another one of those salves. And get Kitaro yet another kill in the bag. Once again, guys, we are seeing the efficiency of these infamous supports compared to the G-Pride supports. G-Pride supports have been camping out mid lane. And given the start, you know, that's kind of understandable. But the mid lane supports, yeah, camping out mid lane. But Excel shows up top lane, pressures the Tiny back a little bit. Schofield shows up bottom lane, kills the Underlord. There's no comparison whatsoever about what these supports are getting done. Like, obviously, Infamous are getting a lot more done with their supports. Brown Avalanche and the Cleave. One more. Got him all. Oh my god. Money in the bank. And that is a rough matchup for the Enigma. This is why I was questioning this. It's like, do you really want to do this? Your Eidolons don't really last all that long up against the AoE of the Tiny. Again, he is going to be strapped for mana sometimes, but he will be able to pick up a bottle if he chooses to do so. And yeah, tough times for sure. Static Link once again going out. This Bloodlust on the Razor, giving him absolute dominance in the movement speed department. Does get frozen in place, but that's fine. Man, that's like the 4th salve the Razor is chugged. Careful, dude. You're going to get addicted to those things, and they won't heal you as much, and you need something more powerful. Oh, they will take off the Courier. Did Razor just whip the Courier? That was, like, right there. Did they just mess that up? I think that just happened. I'm pretty sure that happened. 3v2 lane, and Kitaro is not only getting the kills, he's also getting the CS. He has to watch out not to go too far, though. Reflection is going to go up, but it's not going to do all that much. The Snowball in. They do have shards as well. Kitaro's taking some serious damage now. They will lift up the Terrorblade, bring him away from Kitaro. Sticks up. Cold Feet will freeze him, actually, and that will get them the kill. Here comes Excel, a little bit late to the party. Bottom lane in the meantime, DLC. No, he's fine. That was just neutral damage. Kitaro's got to watch out not to go too far. So does the Enigma. Died on top lane, solo to the Tiny. He's going to go for these additional points in the tree grab. I didn't like it last game, and it wasn't. That wasn't the build last game. Do like it a little bit more in this matchup against the Enigma. Just being able to throw the to hit the Eidolons a couple more times is gonna clear them out just as fast mostly, but is a little bit lighter on your mana pool. So that's really the value pickup of the tree grab here over the toss and avalanche combo. And man, it's still good enough to get the kill, so not gonna be too sad about that. Well, I guess he's stealing damage. It's not perfect, guys. It works. You get damage, take away damage from something. Wowee, that's some serious value. Pepita in the meantime. Ring of Aquila not up yet. Does he have it coming out to him? Yeah, that's a Ring of Aquila. Aquila? 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 I don't actually know. Is there an official pronunciation? Got Excel picking a fight now with this Tiny, but he's pretty swole right now, this Tiny. Does have a toss. Oh, but Schofield has a haste rune, so he'll get away from the toss range. Now here comes Stinger, but he's on level 5. Does have quite an army here, but I'm not sure if they'll do enough damage. They do have the telekinesis for a little more disable, but that status is doing some pretty heavy lifting for Chris here. And he'll just walk out of there. Wow. Wow, Enigma's damage output, incredible. You definitely need a Razor or a Viper or someone who does some damage. Level 6 on the Enigma would have been huge there. He was just short of it. Now has it, though. Will drop it immediately onto the Tiny. The Fade Bolt, they'll just straight get the kill. Well, not straight get the kill. Now they'll get the kill. So Tiny was not looking at the levels there. I guess that's one way of dealing with the Tiny. I know that actually hasn't occurred to me. Like, status resist works up against Ravage, up against, I guess, Viper Strike, like all these tools, Ignite, Fire Blast. But it doesn't work against Black Hole, because Black Hole just constantly reapplies the disable for the duration. Is that a good enough reason to pick up Enigma versus the Tiny? I'm not sure. But it does seem like between Midnight Pulse doing a lot of damage up against this hero that has so much HP, and the Black Hole, which means that it nullifies the status resistance, it's not terrible. Appreciating this pick a little bit more here, for sure. At least seeing the validity of it. CS being topped out by the Radiant squad. Viper, of course, has absolutely nothing to fear from an Underlord, really at any given moment in any given game. Razor might be going a little bit too far here. Just if he had phase boots, maybe you can get away with this, but a couple of heroes teleporting in can very quickly end this party for him. Moose, though, is spotted and is at very low HP. He will have a snowball to dodge death here for a couple seconds. The whole feat is going to proc on the Razor, and he's going to get the kill, but will die. Like, I'm not really sure why you go here as the Razor. Like, that just seems like a bad move to me. But I guess he got 4 heroes to go towards the mid lane. Is that good? Is that good enough for that play? Entirely not sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tiny is waiting in the wings. Now with this build, he will need a lot of time to actually use his tree. And in a prolonged slugfest up against this amount of Eidolons and a Viper, not a chance it's going to happen. So this is definitely Tiny at his weakest. Probably just staying up here because there's no TP on his hero and he doesn't have any other options. Oh, run this bottom lane. Excel. Oh no, the Ogre Magi, the tankiest hero in the game. Not really. He's dead. He's pretty darn dead. Getting beaten down. Underlord getting a little bit of blood on his hands. Firestorm does do a hell of a lot up against these high HP heroes. You see G-Pride starting to pick things up a little bit with their supports, but it might be a little bit too a little too late on heroes that don't quite matter enough. Looking at Pepita now, he is getting very, very fat. Razor is not doing too poorly either. We'll start throwing out that poison. Pepita does have a Viper Strike. I'm gonna go for no one. He runs straight in between them and ends up getting none of them. Well, that's awkward. They will look for DLC. Doesn't have Soul Rift. I don't think this creep wave is going to give him that Rift out anyway. So, space creation time. How long can this man survive? Well, he can't TP out because Fire Blast. Welcome to the Thunderdome! Dig, DLC, dig! You'll find safety further in the forest. He tried, man. He tried. Space creation, it was limited. Only 2 support heroes enough to kill him off. So, I mean, he cut the wave once, I guess. Not terrible. Could certainly do a lot better, though. Let's see. Razor should have his base kit up. Looks like Drums is up. Viper as well. Are they going to be going for the same exact build? That would be kind of cool. Just Drums into, like, a Yasha Manta style. Actually, Manta isn't that great here. Yeah, it does seem like, Mjolnirs, man. Mjolnirs, maybe BKBs. This Brown's still pushing very aggressively. Stinger is looking for a black hole. You know how I know that? Because his black hole is up. If there's a black hole in your Enigma, you should be looking for a black hole. On bottom lane, though, they're going to catch this Viper. Ice Blast applies the chill effect, but they don't have any further way of chasing. Even though Tiny did come in, Pepita Maxed out in that corrosive. Just gonna walk it off. Probably a shrine here to tap into. There is. So, I mean, I guess there's some attempt there. You can see that the Viper is far from invulnerable, but man oh man is he difficult to kill off. While they're dicking around in bottom lane, everyone's pushing mid. So a fruitless movement there from G-Pride, though I do appreciate their effort there. They're going to find Pepita one more time. Not going to happen. He's got full HP, and Taro's just been bulldozing mid the entire time. They're going to group up with 4 on this bottom lane. Really. They will find Schofield. Does have a spell steal. Can grab some shards. I don't. No, that's a signal. That's not going to help him. With actually the 5th hero coming in. They will kill the hell out of that Rubik. They killed him so hard he died to death. But that's still 5 heroes just picking off a random support in the middle of nowhere. In the meantime, this is happening. Enigma, his push can be stopped cold at almost any given moment, but considering he's just up there by himself, he's not really going to worry about much. But we'll find the Razor. He does have the Eye of the Storm. Most of his duration has already been used up. Has a plasma field. Maybe just turn around and kill Moger, and he will do just that. Neutral's coming into party as Moose is going to chase forward and will help get the kill as the tree comes in. Back up, Excel, Stinger. We'll find Chris Brown, but that's a tiny. You don't want to touch that, man. Bad idea. How much damage goes up with this tower? About half HP. Not a terrible damage trade. Schofield is here as well, but they will still suffer from a pretty severe lack of damage unless they get all the multicasts in the world. That's a level 2 Fire Blast multicasted. Chris Brown is going to get into a precarious position right now because here comes the Black Hole with the Midnight Pulse set up. Snowball is going to come in and cancel. Still a lot of damage done to this tiny. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. The Rift comes in. It looks like no. I don't know what happened there. It looked like it was going to come in. Stinger either way is going to chase down. Ogre as well will fall. Ice Blast doing some serious work here as Rubik is on the run, trying to juke in the trees. Shards will miss, but the Rubik has an avalanche to throw out. He's gonna almost get the kill on the Tusk. Steal something. Shards. Oh, he got him. Schofield, ladies and gentlemen. Schofield. Pretty sure the Enigma summons would have gotten the kill if he didn't, but so freaking weird to see a game with this amount of fighting that doesn't involve the Razor and Viper that are on the same team. Just like Enigma suddenly stepping up and is, it says he's an intelligence hero. It's a lie. He's a strength hero. He just wants to kill things, man. Pepita's been gaining a lot of cash in the bottom lane. It's the Dragonlance up with the Maelstrom Mjolnir on the way next. Kataro did get picked off there very early on, so he wasn't a huge part of that. They will try to go for the Underlord, though. And the damage, oh, Pepita walled off by the creeps, cannot go through them. And DLC lives at 30 HP. Man, can't go through the creeps, doesn't have phase boots, and even if he did, he would have to run through that entire pit. A little unfortunate there from Pepita. Black Hole, Stinger, still 2 minutes out, but he does have a Blink Dagger this time. Or I guess next time. Yasha being built on Kataro. This Terrorblade did get 1 kill earlier, does have a Dragonlance still. Look for Chris Bound, they have the Static Link. Where is your damage now? Oh, and the Shards. Tiny in a cage of ice will die. 47 damage stolen. It's not even maxed out, the Static Link. It's only level 3. Bloodlust on Razor, again, is an absolute godsend. From the back, though, lots of heroes coming in. It's going to be Moger charging in first. Ice Blast lands only. That's Pepita, though. Kataro's in the back, still with that damage stolen. They're focusing the Viper. I'm not really sure if that's the right decision. They do have a Thunder on Terrorblade, will do a lot of damage to Excel here. Enigma shows up with the Midnight Pulse, but he doesn't have the Black Hole, so he can't really do all that much. Viper, in the meantime, taking a fight with the Terrorblade, will come out ahead, and actually is going to kill off Moger as well for a double for Pepita. His backup chased out the rest, as DLC will Firestorm, almost killing off the Viper, but not quite. Kataro is right on his tail with 84 damage. Multicast again from Excel. He's been practicing his Ogre Magi. This is an Ogre Magi build right here. This is the I'm going to multicast you and kill you build. I love it. And ultimately, is that 0 deaths? That's 1 death on Schofield. But a small, small price to pay, considering Infamous mopped the floor with G-Pride, losing 1 hero, and get like a million kills. Without Black Hole, that's probably the most impressive thing. Like, I could very easily see that fight happening with that same result with the Black Hole usage. No Black Hole needed, easy cleanup. That's just the power of Viper, that's just the power of Razor, that's just the disrespect that G-Pride had. Trying to go for that Viper first thing, I mean, it's not a terrible decision, but you really need to have some pretty heavy commitment on that hero if you're going to get him. And then you need more power later to kill off Kataro, which just is not in the cards right now. And now that Black Hole is up, G-Pride's map is going to shrink so quickly. Now the good thing for them is that Infamous don't really have the greatest Roche taking team, We'll have a couple summons here and there, but Static Link doesn't work against Roche, even though that would be kind of cool, I guess, if it did. Viper's also not exactly the greatest there, so they probably don't have to worry about a super fast Aegis push coming anytime soon. But still, their towers are slowly but surely dropping. It's only 16 minutes in. They will go straight into the Roche. Try to go for him anyway. You have the offensive no field on. It's only level 1. Schofield, what happens if you grab a tree? Gives you splash around your party. Does that just work? Does that work like Dragon Knight? I mean, that would be pretty sick. I actually have not seen this before. This is, again, the slowest Roche of all time. And G-Pride had all the time in the world to come in and do something about this. But no more time anymore. It's dead. Beach is going to grab that double life, and they will be on their merry way.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right.
Radiant's
Show me a tree grab, dude. Show it to me. Okay, so there is some animation there. He just replaces his stick with the tree. Oh, that's so adorable. Okay, in the meantime, they were pushing bottom lane. Pizza is going to deal with that. Does have the double life. Does have the spell vamp talent, so he will be able to rejuvenate somewhat. But now, with Terrorblade and Ancient Apparition behind him, and the ability to lock out that spell vamp with the Ice Blast, which will actually miss up against that Force Staff, still they will be able to take down one life of Pizza before the backup can come in. And rest assured, there is a lot of backup coming in. Chase is on for anyone they can find, but it doesn't look like they can find anyone. Maybe up on the high ground, but Chris Brown is here with an invis from the Shadow Blade. The Enigma is going to get 100 to 0, easy peasy. That's an Aegis down for free and an Enigma to boot. Great pickup there from G-Pride. And again, seems like Pizza just giving away one too many lives from being out of position. Can't really press all the way. I mean, that was a sneaky move there from G-Pride for sure. But still, despite not having that Enigma, there is still a tier 1 for him to teleport to. If they really want to go for this, I think they probably can. Mostly because Metamorphosis now offline, or, now offline. So, yeah, I mean, Aegis is important. Enigma is great, but G-Pride cannot win a fight without a Metamorphosis. It is just not happening. Gotta make sure they have True Sight as well. There is a severe lack of it on the Radiant side. Calling it right now, 20 minutes in, Chris Brown will use his Shadow Blade to escape death. And I will remind you guys of that correct prediction. It's like Rubik able to steal shards one more time. Chris Brown coming in once again with that invisibility, looking for the cleavage, and he'll do a lot of damage. Toss back, Avalanche will be off the mark, but they'll still take on the Razor. Vita has returned, will kill off that Ancient Apparition, now chasing forward for Chris Brown. The damage is huge, but it's not going to be enough. In the meantime, Tusk snowballs back in out of desperation, trying to kill Excel, will fall short. As Vita with the Nether Toxin looks like will grab a double. For the cost of the Razor, still not exactly ideal exchanges. Whoa, hello. Dude is going for some pretty serious value right here. I just assumed it would be a BKB next. I'm freaking wrong, man. He's going whole hog. I feel like BKB is better. I don't know, but what's done is done. He's on his route to Octarine. Cooldown reduction is Ace's. Stinger will get nailed by that Ice Blast. Chris Brown looks like he actually didn't use his invisibility to escape yet. Looks like my 20-minute prediction is wrong. Feels bad, man. But they really need to pick up some detection. I don't know about you guys, but I do like detection up against I'm a big fan of that. Hey, there we go. 4 sentries on the Ogre coming in. With still the Black Hole. Did he just Nether Toxin himself? If you double tap Nether Toxin and you have that option turned on, do you Nether Toxin the floor? Did that just happen? By the way, he is going to grind down this creep wave incredibly quickly. 3,200 gold in the bank. There is no Kataro in the area, and rest assured G-Pride know this. But they also don't exactly know where the Enigma is. That's the big problem. That's a Haste Rune and a Blink Dagger. Not easy to sneak up on this Enigma. Actually, no, they did see him moving with that Obs, but still not in time to make anything happen. They are pushing the bottom lane. Underlord, which just creeps really well. It doesn't really push towers very well. Although there is a Catapult coming in. They will find 4 Ancient Apparition. Oh, feels bad, man. Now teleporting back in. DLC will have the Rift out if he needs it. Looks like he's probably just fine to walk out of here, actually. Very surprised they were able to get away with this move. You see a Razor on top lane. He is very quick, but he's not going to be able to rejoin a fight. So you will have that 5v4 if you want to take it. Just like opting not to. Is this an Ags build-up? Oh, please tell me it's an Ags build-up. Dude, Centaurs. So yeah, he is gonna go for what? Soul Booster. Yeah, that's Octarine BKB. Yeah, I was like, he's gonna stop going for the BKB. No, he will get the Octarine in the end. BKB afterwards. I'm not really sure if this is the best sequencing. I do feel like BKB is probably much higher value than. Well, maybe the HP is actually worth it though. I'm not sure. Getting the 2 health components just to try to bulk up. That's not bad. It's not exactly the most cost-effective thing in the world, but I've certainly seen worse. You see the map has shrunk. Bottom lane, they are trying to push that one out. Terrorblade is down there himself, got his goon squad pushing things out as well. But there aren't really many safe places to go. DLC does have the Rift and a Force Staff, so actually catching up to and killing him off quickly is very, very hard. They will be able to maybe catch Chris Brown here. He is going to get spotted going invis, but the dust goes off in the back, and that's way too far away to catch this Tiny. I wonder if status resistance affects dust. Because, like, dust does slow you, so status resistance, like, will get rid of that faster. Anyone know? I'm not actually, like, paying super close attention to the chat, so even if you guys do know, I won't be able to see it, so that's not really useful. DLC will get caught by a Malphus, and that's it. Once again, we're in this game of whack-a-mole. Infamous do have to worry somewhat about the fact that they have picked up Razor and Viper as their cores. You don't really want to stop the pressure when you have these type of cores. You aren't working with a Terrorblade or like an anti-mage or a sniper. These heroes, though they are still doing very well in the farm department, will naturally start to get less and less powerful as the game progresses. Unless they just get more and more kills, which, you know,
Radiant's top tower
kill off Moser another time. Snowball in towards the Enigma. In the tier 1 though, not sure about that one, Moose. He will get hit pretty hard by the Malefice, and we'll try to wall himself off with his shards, but good freaking luck. Excel again, practicing that Ogre will land a multicast on cue. All the good Ogre Magi players, guys, they know when to multicast. It's an important skill to know. Everyone else will bug out of that top lane, and they should be fine in doing so. Roshan, I guess that's what we're waiting for. 1 minute until the reveal of the true time. Just gotta wait and see. I don't think G-Pride will be able to contest that. I mean, they can if they just found themselves there at that perfect time. But it's so difficult going into that position, because Enigma probably will just be waiting like back here or something like that. So if you're coming down this super narrow funnel, like Black Hole is just going to nail you to the floor. Not to mention Midnight Pulse, which is going to do a sizable chunk of damage as well. Two doors. Chris Brown will find the kill on the Enigma. Back out. And when you're working with the Shadow Blade and Count S and Y up on the Tiny, you can do that to the vast majority of these non-Viper Razor heroes. Although Viper is going to catch DLC. It's going to force staff up to the high ground. They still see him though. Maybe some mischances. He's going to get a lot. Oh, I don't think it's enough. Vita will get him with the poison. However, Kataro is just getting ground down by Moger. Still gets rid of a lot of damage. It will get brought down. The tree branch comes right into his AO. Vita gets force staffed in. Not too sure about that one. He's going to get some support from the Ogre, but definitely not enough. What the hell was that force staff in? And now they're all crumbling. Excel is going to get chased down by the Terrorblade. Illusions still do full damage. He'll be brought down, and Rubik, it's like Rubik will escape. Keep the gem for the team, but my god. Razor, first of all, disrespecting the damage from a Terrorblade. I mean, you could drain out the main Terrorblade, but his illusions will still destroy you. And then Viper, force staffing in like that? Dude, that is not the play at all. If you had an Enigma there, sure, go for it. With the Black Hole, I think you can get away with that. They definitely didn't, because he was dead, though. That's going to be 4 heroes, actually, in total, biting the dust. They do pick off an Underlord and an AA, but to give all those kills over to the TB and Tiny, I would say that's probably firmly in the not worth it category. The BKB, and oh, that was like an instant Roche respawn, actually. Enigma, unfortunately, just short of his BKB. Would really like to have that. Actually has a Hand of Midas to pop, so that's his BKB. So he's got BKB flying out to him. Yeah, there's a courier here. It's not dead. at the same time as there being a Roche available. This is a pretty good timing if they went right now. There's no Metamorphosis on the Terrorblade, and again, as great as that fight went for them, it would not have gone as well if they didn't have Metamorphosis. So again, it's an absolute necessity in this game to fight with Metamorphosis. They do know about the Roche. They scouted it with the Eidolons.
Dire are scanning.
And they will start to move into place. Razor does not Roche very well. You can see this is about all he can do. I guess you do get the unstable current pops with the additional no field damage. Wow, the value. Ooh, once again, fairly slow, and like grouping up like this is like Tiny's dream. This is AA's dream. Speaking of AA, Ice Blast will throw. Really? Okay. Well, they're just gonna throw the Ice Blast down to the bottom lane, I suppose. Enigma is gonna get rooted on arrival. Aegis and Cheese will be picked up by Pepita and Razor, I guess. Yeah. They'll still lose the tower on the bottom lane, but it's a small price to pay. Unless they just give away random heroes right now. Tataro's gonna zip right through top lane. Will be fine, probably, although Chris Brown does have a lot of damage here. We'll get the toss by the Razor. Still, BKB and Cheese is up. Cheese, no Cheese! Walrus Punch finishes him off. Support coming in a little bit too slowly. Looks like Snowball was stolen here from the Rubik. Chris Brown in the trees. There's a gem on the Rubik still, but Mood's gonna try to chase him out. And the shards actually wall off the Tiny, so he's just fine. Razor again, disrespecting the G-Pride heroes, and still DLC on the bottom lane, being a Nature's Prophet or a Broodmother or whoever. So persistent, and no one's actually able to comfortably deal with him, so they lose the Razor. I guess it could be worse. I mean, the Razor is going to be up in 40 seconds. He will still have the Cheese, they will still have the Aegis, so they can still make their play, but G-Pride are getting some pretty, honestly, like, freebie kills. Like, these kills are just careless kills from Infamous's hero being out of position here, out of position there. Difficult to watch for sure. We have this black hole. We have had it for, what, 5 minutes, something like that? A long time for sure. Smoke up now, going toward the bottom lane. If they're able to crack in here, and they will be able to get some decent tower damage. Jump in, Walrus Punch, and that is Enigma. He's going to ditch the black hole with the BKB. He will still die, though. That's him down for a minute, and even when he comes back, he's still pretty... What are you doing? What is happening? He just walked into 5 heroes by himself. Literally, that's all that happened. And now Moger is looking for a Sunder. There's not that much in the way of disables here. He will Sunder Pepita. He'll do quite a bit of damage, although Pepita does have a double life. Aegis is going to keep him alive, but oh no. Tara's going to try to go in once more onto Terrorblade. This time with the BKB pop, will steal a lot of the damage. Is going to drop low, but that's what the Cheese is for, so they'll try to whip down Moger. Force Staff everywhere, but all the wrong directions. Now with the Cheese, they'll grab 2 in the Terrorblade and the Tiny and the AA and maybe even DLC. Oh, he can't even get out. Ultra kill for Pepita. Maybe looking for that 5th. I see a 5th in his future. Oh, blink out from Moose. Poison attack does land. This looks like a 5th. A Rampage for the Viper. The difference maker obviously being that Maelstrom, clearly. But that was a less than ideal black hole, but at the end of the day, you static link the Terrorblade for long enough with the Cheese. It was definitely the Cheese that won them that fight. If the Razor goes down there, then all that damage you take away, I mean, it's still like not there for the Terrorblade, but actually being able to survive long enough to get an absolute full length static link and then turn that damage around on the TB and the Tiny, that's aces. The Enigma still, unfortunately, is going to be off of his black hole for quite a long time. The Octarine completion cost of 2,700 in that Mystic Staff is steep. Still going to be a very convincingly won fight from Infamous regardless. Terrorblade, 50 seconds left till he has his Metamorphosis. And again, that's 50 seconds left until he's ready to fight. Feet in the meantime going to start slow sieging from the low ground. Cold Feet will shove him away. They do still have vision here thanks to that hero range creep. But I'm not really sure if they can sit around. 30 seconds will be up for, yeah, both Terrorblade and Enigma. They'll have their big ultimates. Yeah, I'm going to call Terrorblade's ultimates Metamorphosis. What are you guys going to do about it? Oh, Pepita. He's going to dodge the Ice Blast. Taro's on the front line, so his BKB will turn on Static Charge on himself. Looks like it's the Viper's Static Charge, actually. You got to have that thematic Razor build. All lightning, all the time. They'll toss back the Ogre. Not what they wanted to go for. Look at the Watch Punch out to Taro, but he'll get the BKB off. Excel is very separated, and he's definitely going to go down here. But the tower has fallen thanks to the Ags on the Razor. Only for that one hero. Everyone else should probably be able to back off successfully. I'm not really sure if chasing is what they want to be doing right now because the black hole is now up once again. They will just go straight towards the shrines. But going up like this, Moger, not really too sure about this, is going to get stunned up just a little bit. Telekinesis, not used just yet, but it will be used to kill him off before he can sunder. I'm not really sure why you would walk up the high ground when you just see the enemies go in that direction and you're by yourself. Seems like a bad plan. Vita will get picked off here, but that's the Aegis. Maybe setting up for a little bit of a fight here, though the Rubik is without any sort of mobility item, so he cannot actually keep the Tiny in range. Still looking for that black hole usage, but Terrorblade being down to 50 represents a pretty nice opportunity for Infamous to just have the absolute run of the map. Is it going to be mid lane? Is it going to be this tower? Is it going to be both? Stay tuned. Out of the field, a couple right clicks, Mjolnir proc. We will have this pit and the Firestorm to do some pretty serious damage to the Razors. Look at that. That is just Firestorm value. Suddenly he's down to 2,000 HP. Yeah, you should probably back off and try to heal that up.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
That should help.
Bro, it didn't even kill the shrine? What the hell? At least kill the shrine. Don't, like, just bang it up a little bit. That's pointless. I'm sure they'll get around to it eventually. Pepita has the right idea. He's like, guys, I'm going to take this free bag of gold. Thank you very much.
Has fallen.
An extra shrine. A couple more last hits here for Stinger, and that'll be the Octarine up and ready. Unless he wants to save for buyback. Buyback on Enigma is pretty darn important. If you get, kind of isolated out and alone, without your BKB, and you drop, buy him back into a black hole, you can definitely win your team in engagement. That is not an Octarine core. Not even a little bit. Is that an Octarine? Let's just get Travels instead. That's not a bad item to have on Enigma, but I'm not really sure if this is the item that he wants right now. It seems like the game is going to come down to a cataclysmic fight pretty soon. Actually, I'm not really sure about that. I might be wrong. If they just lose the Aegis and Cheese, they might just decide to wait for longer. And in that time, like, Enigma's obviously going to be getting more and more gold thanks to that Midas, thanks to his farm speed just being generally fast for kind of supporty type heroes. He gets an Octarine and a Refresher Shard from the next Roche. I mean, say goodbye to your game, G-Pride. That is backbreaking. Of course, it is pushing further and further into the point of the game where G-Pride will be able to contest Roche more and more likely. Holy crap, Excel did go for Aghanim Scepter. Got that unrefined Fire Blast. I'm not sure if this is good. Like, it's another stun, but it costs so much mana. I guess if you're just crossing your fingers for those high rolls on the Terrorblade, it could be pretty good. But is it better than, like, a Force Staff? I'm not sure. Is it better than a Solar Crest to put on your Razor? I'm pretty sure it's just worse. But, I mean, this is style points for the Ogre Magi. Like, this is the build, man. This is the next level build. Smoke up, Skullfield, gonna run for a handful of heroes. Steals Pit, looks like, yep. And they do have Stinger. Spotted now by the Obs just placed. Being in position to siege once again without Aegis and Cheese is pretty bold. At least kill this shrine since you're here, Pita. There you go.
Shrine is under attack.
Free gold. I don't know about you guys, I like free gold. I'm a big fan of free gold.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Once again, split push. Same exact scenario as game 1, where G-Pride are facing down an incredible disadvantage net worth-wise, but just trying to split push and trying to stall. This time they have a little bit more of an end game here. A late game Tiny and a late game Terrorblade can just instantly win the game out of nowhere. Oh, hello. Nether Toxin silences over the damage. That is potentially huge. Up against Terrorblade in particular, being able to silence out that Sunder is something you cannot Manta split out of. Ooh, that looks like it's pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's better than the damage, but he does have some pretty cute tactics now with the Pizza. Enigma is going to back off once again. Another pit will be dropped. We'll stall out both Schofield and Pizza charging forward, looking for someone. We'll find. Oh no, not the AA. Why you guys gotta be so mean? Bullies. Moger going to take one for the team. It is going to be Chris Brown beating things down as per usual. We need a tower to fall. Pushing at level 25 talent. Not like huge talents or anything like that. It's decent. Pretty sure you get the health there as Enigma. Travels, haven't punished him yet. He hasn't needed to buy back engagements. Pretty well avoided on everyone. And hey, look at that. That looked like another really fast roast timer. I didn't actually see, but it looked really fast. Pizza is in, man, and he is just going to town. A Refresher Shard can win this game for Infamous. G-Pride, with no AA, cannot scout this easily. And they will snag a Courier who had only a TP. They'll push this wave, but they're pretty okay with that. That is going to be an Octarine for Enigma. A Cheese on the Razor, probably a Refresher Shard for Enigma, and Aegis on Pepita. I don't know what the exact value of that is. Like, they have a 13k lead. Probably with Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard, that's more artificial, 18k lead. What do you think? 5k for all these items? Probably more than that, right? Maybe even 20? Maybe even more than that? I don't know. But it is a disgustingly huge advantage they have right now. Moose will get out of that top lane scenario. It's like Gem picked up on the Dire side now as well. It's all about that split push, guys. Unfortunately, Ignite doesn't really kill 3 waves very well. Pizza, though, with the Mjolnir, does kill 3 waves very well. It's all about stalling right now. The Terrorblade is really farmed right now. But up against this Aegis Cheese, I'm not really sure. Are they actually just going to keep this Shard on the Razor? Because you can Eye the Storm, refresh Eye the Storm. That used to be a thing when Razor was just granted the Aghanim Scepter. People loved that shit. I don't know if it's good, but it's awesome. The Pizza, off in the middle of nowhere. Once again, will get jumped. He does have BKB. He is going to decide to not use it. Gets frozen in place and will lose his first life. Backup is coming in pretty quickly. Oh, the multicast on the Mogre! Oh my god, Excel God! Gets the kill, and second Mogre also is going to fall. In the meantime, Black Hole catches the Tiny off on the side. Midnight Pulse is down, and he's going to try to make a break for it, but they do have the gem on Skullfield, and they just know where he is. He's going to lose all of his damage. One more whip for Rooney or Plaza Field. Oh, he's just going to juke because the Rubik isn't fast enough with his True Sight. Chris Brown is just fine. Okay, well, jukes, I guess. That is a Black Hole used to unsuccessfully try to go for that Tiny. But my god, that Ogre Magi. I don't know how many Fire Blasts he actually got there. It was at least 6. Does a decent amount of damage. No BKB on the Terrorblade either. So Pizza and Katara are just going to get right to work on mid lane. Fortification is there. We have the Underlord trying to split push a little bit. But again, he pushes creeps really well. Not as much towers. Oh my god, the Madman. He did it. It's double Eye of the Storm. Zeus, where you at, Zeus? Although, he could instantly get gibbed here. Ice Blast is going to miss, though, which means Cheese is still active. He should be fine. That's 2 racks in advantage. Vita's on the 3rd. And this is without an Enigma. He doesn't have a Black Hole anyway. Chris Brown is spotted on the incoming. And I'm not sure if they can actually kill off this Razor. They need an Ice Blast to land. They will freeze him down. No BKB, no Cheese, but he does have enough backup. He's going to get the Cheese off, and he will still strike everyone down with the Lightning. Their Terrorblade is in the mix, but he doesn't have his Metamorphosis, so he's not doing nearly enough damage. He's being kited. Not able to do quite what he needs to do. Is now the Nether Toxin silence, stunned up. Here comes the multicast. That's a 2x. Here comes some more. That's another 2x. The Viper isn't able to do the damage though. Silence is still once again onto Mogre. He can't cast the Stun. Will finally do so onto Excel, but it doesn't really matter. It's on Excel. Now the Static Link onto the Tiny. He once again starts draining out. Will not save his Rubik ally, but they do take the Megas already. Here comes the Enigma with the Black Hole onto 3. Lightning is once again going to start to fly from the heavens. That's going to kill off DLC and severely wound the Tiny as well as the Tusk. They will take down the Razor and keep the Tusk and Tiny both alive, but Mogre, number 1 or 2, I don't even know anymore, is going to fall. Vita did buy back for this one. He's going to be put into a pretty precarious position. He's tossed up, Walrus Punch back up, and will die back. Chris Brown gets an ultra kill, but now here comes Gyutaro. A new challenger has entered the ring. They'll get the Malefic Stun onto the Tiny, and a Fire Blast will put him down for good. 2 minutes on the sidelines. Mogre is back. He bought back, and he does have another Metamorphosis, but can he do this all by himself? Because here comes another 3 multicasts with an extra on top. Sunder is there, but Excel doesn't give a damn because he's Ogre Magi, bitch. Yeah, he's gonna get isolated all alone. Tusk is back. Here comes the Ice Blast. Kataro taking a lot of damage here. The Terrorblade put into the snowball, still alive. And he's, there's a lot of attacks, but he will put the Razor into shadow range and get the kill. Chasing now for more. Fire Blast, multicast, every which way. Moger and Moose chasing after both Stinger and Excel. Jump forward, Walrus Punch. But Stinger's still alive, not dead just yet. They lose everybody at the end. What the hell just happened? Does anyone know what happened? Because it seems like literally everyone bought back. Nope. 2 supports still have buyback. And they just like started running at each other, man. That's just it. Now, Infamous, because they got the Megas, they are not going to get substantially punished for making that play. Like, yeah, this push is going to be coming in. 50 seconds for the Viper. Once Viper comes up, I'm pretty sure they can push this back since there's still 90 seconds left of Metamorphosis. In that time, everyone will be up to Infamous. I don't think they can get much done. I mean, look at this. DLC can deal with this pretty well, but Moger, the AA, can do jack all. We also have Schofield on a secret agent, super secret mission. Tower will be brought down. There is a fortification here for the Radiant. What are you up to, Schofield? I mean, you can't really do anything to hold back the push mid, so you might as well do shenanigans. And DLC is actually getting his ass kicked in the meantime. Oh, he's just gonna get jacked up! Just Fade Bolts him, dude! Oh no, he actually doesn't have the pipe, so he can't Fade Bolt for the kill. Schofield gets the telekinesis. He's gonna try to cheese out DLC, but he's gonna very drastically overestimate what he can do. Oh, Ogre though! Killed off by the neutrals. They're just gonna go straight in. Viper is back though. Moger, the Terror Blade, is going in for the towers, but with no Metamorphosis, this is over. Okay, I'm looking again at the wrong freaking Ancient. My God, second time in the series. Secret Agent Schofield. I think we can call that mission success. Infamous do claim victory over Gorillaz-Pride. The slow burn, the slow grind. But first of all, I would like to offer my deepest condolences to Excel. I underestimated the Aghanim Scepter. I will eat those words. I have just eaten those words. Shit did work, dude. He was destroying everyone with those multicasts. But at the end of the day, again, it's this early game that Gorillaz-Pride really couldn't get a foothold in. Their supports, even though they do have just ace supports for going and getting kills, just couldn't find them in the end. And with Kataro getting all the kills, with Pizza getting free farm, there's only so much that you can do. So this game can end the 42-minute mark. Infamous will kick out Gorillaz-Pride, and we'll move on to the semifinals. And they don't know who their opponents are going to be. That is going to be decided in about an hour. Mad Kings versus Pain will be happening then. Guys, thank you so much for watching these games. I hope you've enjoyed them. Stream will be on. I'll be chilling with you guys in the chat for about another hour till we get that next game going. But if you enjoy the games, don't go anywhere. If you're not following the channel, why the hell not? You can hit me up on Twitter at Mike Loris as well if you enjoyed the casting. Congratulations, Infamous. Rip Gorilla Pride. Guys, next game in about an hour.